Good morning, Roxanne. Election officials have determined that nearly all of the 224 people who live in that precinct would have had to have voted for someone other than Jerry Moyle. It's all been taken down. A walk inside the store, all of the product was right here. Store managers say they have taken it off the shelves. If you've got to get in the water, stay safe and heed the warnings for your own protection. We're live on Palm Beach. I'm Kristen Cadell, WPTV News Channel 5. The iPhone 4 is going to be launched for the first time with this network this morning. The doors are going to open in just a couple of minutes, especially considering they're facing some $15 million of a budget shortfall. And this district is one of the worst in the state. I promised little Alexis I'd throw her a pitch to see how good her batting skills are. So are you ready? You ready to go? Okay, 1, 2, 3, go. Southbound lanes are not expected to open until 3 o'clock this afternoon. We can pan off and show you here's what's left of the scene. There's still several crews out here, as well as a portion of one of the tractor trailers off to the side of the road, and the driver of that tractor trailer is in critical condition this afternoon at Jackson Memorial Hospital in Miami. She is currently still here at the Palm Beach Gardens Police Department waiting to be booked and transported to the Palm Beach County Jail. We will have much more with these lovely ladies, right?
There's more?
I thought it was over.
Kristen,
I thought this was the end. It's not over. It's never over.
It's 5 a.m. and we're here with PBSO's Fugitive Warrant Unit, and they are loading up, getting ready to serve a handful of felony warrants here throughout Palm Beach County. They've even asked us to suit up because of how dangerous a situation can turn very quickly.
McDermott to service, 10-4. Watch out, there's dogs too.
Police, come to the door. Palm Beach County Sheriff Office.
They are on the hunt.
And if they're not behind bars, they're out there committing crimes against a good citizen. This is right here.
For people who are on the run.
Yeah, they hide all the time under beds, in closets.
Wanted for felonies, everything from drug charges to grand theft.
Front doors, back doors, side doors. You know, that's 3 doors right there, and then you got to go inside. And
the game plan, find the suspect and get in and out.
Not in there. And you never know what's behind closed doors.
As quickly and safely as possible.
Standing is here.
This arrest was down and dirty. In minutes, they cuffed their guy wanted for drug charges. He was asleep on the couch.
We got him, we're on to the next.
But the next would play out more like a scene from a movie.
Tricia Walker, Sheriff's Office.
Detectives searched high and low. Eventually, they found their woman hiding in a pile of her own clothes.
Stand up to you now.
Not exactly the wake-up call she probably had in mind.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Her child crying in the background, but once she realized authorities had no pity and they weren't going anywhere without her, she too was given some shiny new metal bracelets.
She's wanted for grand theft felony and resisting arrest with violence. She just didn't want to go to jail, and she didn't want to face the charges.
Watch your head.
Face the charges, and a judge they all will. And for deputies, this is just another day in their office, and they will be back on the streets come tomorrow. In Palm Beach County, I'm Kristen Cadell, Fox 29 News.
They get heavier, and they get thicker, and even more expensive.
It was about $561.
Ah, college textbooks. You don't have to have a degree to know they're not cheap.
None of us have this money. None of us have this kind of money to spend on books.
Well, don't worry, say the geniuses behind a new program at Palm Beach Atlantic University.
We wanted to make sure that they weren't choosing to go without.
So help is just a page turn away.
They rent them by the semester, or they can rent them by the quarter, or they can rent them by the year.
Book rentals. What a smart idea. Saving students between 20 to 70% depending on the course.
I was so excited for it. I'm really excited to take advantage of that. We hadn't had that before, and you have to always buy new books or the used books.
Well, the way it works is the students go onto our website, campusstore.pba.edu. They can, at the very bottom in the footer, click on Rent Textbooks, which directs them to our campus rental site.
After a click of a few buttons, you're all checked out, and no need to waste your time in line at the bookstore.
I think that's a great option.
The cost of textbooks is rising faster than you can say Palm Beach Atlantic. The average rate to a student around $700 or more a semester.
I have humanities and English.
So this gives them a chance to spend their cash on something a little more exciting than a book. That's right, Kelly. Here on Palm Beach, a little farther north on the guarded section, the red flags are out. The lifeguards are urging beachgoers not to go in more than waist high. And here on the unguarded section of the beach, they really don't want people in the water. And if you check out this guy here on the kayak, he is a prime example of what you are not supposed to be doing right now. And he tells me he's a beginner kayaker that just wants to learn the sport, and not sure if now is the best time for him to be doing that. We've been watching him tip over all afternoon, and lifeguards say that he is really taking his life into his own hands because it can just take a second for a rip current to take you under. And at this point, this storm is bringing a triple threat to our area. We have beach erosion, we have rip currents, and you have the heavy surf. The surf is up.
This is a time of fair warning to everybody in our township that they need to stay out of that surf.
Yeah, it was pretty rough out there for a little while.
Rough seems to be the word of the day.
We're advising a lot of our swimmers to go no more than waist deep.
Didn't have any flippers and no boogie board, but if I had a boogie board and flippers, I could ride the big waves here.
And you can't say they're not warning you about the dangerous rip currents.
And if you do get caught in a rip current, float, wave for assistance until a lifeguard can get to you. You can also swim parallel to shore until you feel the release of the rip current.
Yellow flags flying high at Lantana Beach.
Yellow is a medium hazard. We're basically on the verge of going to red.
From one problem to the next. The mayor of the town of South Palm Beach has his eyes glued to the water and his fingers crossed.
This is an example of what most of the buildings should have.
A new seawall is in place, but he still believes later in the week there could be trouble in paradise.
That water will be probably coming up pretty much higher than what it is.
The Palm Beach Oceanfront Inn is as oceanfront as vacationers want to see it.
It's very, very dangerous.
The lifeguards that we spoke to at the beaches today tell us so far they haven't had to make any rescues, but there have been some close calls, and the surf is expected to pick up as the week progresses. So again, they are just urging folks out there, if you've got to get in the water, stay safe and heed the warnings for your own protection. We're live on Palm Beach. I'm Kristen Cadell, WPTV News Channel 5. 5.5-year-old Brenton Hallenbach can't speak. He has cerebral palsy and a rare chromosome disorder.
Whenever my brother and me play, we like to play books.
So his big sister and his mom are making sure his voice is heard.
It outrages me to see that they would take this out on our disabled children and older people.
They, along with dozens of others, held their signs high as their hearts sank at the news of Governor Rick Scott's emergency cuts to the Agency for Persons with Disabilities.
Hopefully this message gets to somebody who actually cares.
We're talking about, if you ask me, what will happen with a runaway train that has jumped the track and is heading for the station.
The cuts are projected to temporarily slash funding for the disabled by 15 to 40%.
Without it, I'm going to have to pay thousands of dollars for behavioral therapy.
We need help.
Providers say it will force many of them to stop caring for the estimated 30,000 patients taking advantage of the state's Medicaid waiver program.
I'm a parent with a son with disabilities that's going to be losing all services because nobody's going to want to work for $10 an hour.
It's needed and it's important.
Some who had hoped their point would hit home with state representatives at today's political powwow say it was more like talking to a wall.
They would not answer a question. They wouldn't take my time. Somebody's telling me to get the heck out of the building, basically playing, and I'm here with my daughter. I don't want to get arrested, but I want my voice heard. No, honestly.
Still, they are hoping that seeing the faces of the youngest, like Brenton Hallenbach, who will be affected, will pull at the heartstrings of someone, somewhere.
Please help us. Do not do this.
You want a sign? Take this.
In Boynton Beach, I'm Kristen Cadell. WPTV News Channel 5.